What up, everyone? Back for another video. Long time no see. It's been a while for two reasons. One, super fucking busy, just all the time, all the things, all day long. Number two, I was actually waiting for Bambox. They were starting a new box at the beginning of the year with January's box, and I really wanted to talk about it, so I kept putting off my video until it showed up, and then it kept getting delayed. Kept being shipping delays to the point where January's box has just shown up in March. So I should have just done the video had I known how long it was going to take, but I didn't, so I decided to wait, and here we are, months later, with very old boxes. It's not that big of a deal, though, because most of those boxes are just showing up now anyway. Boxes take forever to get here. Enough of the side story. Another weird thing that happened is Loot Crate. I'm sure you see this gigantic pile. You think it's sitting on a table. This is on the ground. There are like 12 Loot Crates that all showed up. The boxes from almost 3 years ago have all of a sudden shown up in like the same month. So instead of put all of them into this video, I'm going to do Loot Crate on a separate video. I'm going to call it Catching Up with Loot Crate, talk about the company and everything that's going on with them in a separate video. And I'm just going to do the most recent, which is, I believe, is March's Loot Crate in this video, collaborative. So, just to give you a heads up what's happening. I have 5 boxes here, one of each, except for Geek Fuel. There's a few there, but I'm going to talk about them all. But I'm going to do this a little bit faster. I'm trying to cut down time on my videos. So to save time, sometimes I'm not going to pull everything out. Sometimes I'll just show a picture and we'll talk about stuff. So I may not pull everything out for every box just to save on time. So let's get right to it. First off, we have Marvel Collector Core. And we got fucking stay. I can't see my own notes. I'm so unprepared. All right. First off, we got a shirt. The shirt I really like. It gets the standard $12 to $15 value, but I'm going to give this shirt actually an 8 out of 10 because I think it's really well done. I've said a million times, I'm sick of the pop tee design, but luckily with Spider-Man, it doesn't really look like a pop figure because he has the normal eyes. It just kind of looks cartoony. So I like this way better than some of the other shirts because it actually kind of doesn't look like a pop shirt, which I know is a weird reason, but I really like it and the quality is good, so 8 out of 10 on that. Then we got 2 pops in here. One was Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, which I believe is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who it is based on what it looks like. And then we got Electro. The Tobey Maguire, or the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, was going for a lot, actually. $45 to $50 is the value on that, which is really high for this box, especially lately, especially the past few years. But not that surprising, considering it was such a good movie, and I think it's Tobey Maguire, and we haven't had one of those in a long time, so I think that gave it some rarity. The Electro, on the other hand, only going for about $20 to $25, which is higher. A lot of the times the pops in here just go for around $15, which is like normal price, so a little bit higher on that as well. Then we got another standard pin. I think this is the Andrew Garfield one, but again, or no, sorry, not Andrew Garfield. I think this is the Tom Holland on the pin, but it's hard to tell just from the pin, but I think so. And then the decal, pin goes for $6 to $10. Then we got this decal in here, which is nothing. I tried to look it up because I was trying to figure out which Spider-Man this symbol belonged to, and I could not figure it out. And I even went through Google and looked up all Spider-Man symbols, and nothing. I don't know what Spider-Man symbol this is. I think it's kind of like a Mod Podge of the 3 that they just kind of created. That's the only thing I could think of because it's not any of the movie ones, it's not any of the game ones, it's not any of the classic comic ones, so I don't know what this is. If someone knows in the comments, please let me know. I'm dying to know, but I think it's just something that's kind of a merge of those 3. Either way, that's going for about $6 to $8, which is pretty standard. That brings our value on the low end of 89, on the high end of 108. So that's pretty fantastic. And considering the prices that I looked up were more recent, this was a box from, I think it was from like December. It was a pretty long time ago. I can't remember which month exactly, but not recent. So the prices may have gone up since that. So keep that in mind, but still, you're getting pretty much triple your value. This is around a $30 box, and on the low end, it's $90. So that's fantastic. So I'm actually giving this one a 10 out of 10 because they did all the things I wanted them to see, all the things I wanted to see, all the things I wanted them to do. So I really appreciated this box, and it has some rarity and it has a lot of value to it. So that was Spider-Man Marvel Collector Core. Moving right along. Alrighty. Now we got Zobie. The shirt was a decent design, but it just wasn't really anything special because their shirts just suck so much. They have the worst shirts. Of all the subscription boxes, they are the absolute bottom. Terrible quality shirts, but the design was decent. So to get the standard $12 to $15 value, score on the shirt, 5 out of 10. Then we got an autograph from Mike Starr, which his only named role was from Dumb and Dumber, and I definitely recognize him from that, but he doesn't have a lot of other things under his belt, but, you know, it's still nice to have. This is going for 25 to 30, which I was a little surprised by. It was a little higher than I thought, but that's pretty standard for signatures from either Zobie or Bambox. Then we got a stress ball from Basketball. I couldn't find any information on that. There was one person that listed it for $17, but it wasn't selling for that, and I think that's a crazy price. I couldn't find any other listings, so I went off like what other stress balls go for that are movie related and what other things from this box have had, and I came up with $5 value. Then we got a pin, and the pin I like because it was from Grandma's Boy. I loved this movie. This is such a great movie. It's a great comedy. If you have not watched it, please go do so. If you like comedies, that is. I thought it was a really funny movie, and it was a really underrated movie because I don't even remember it being in theaters, but really funny, really well done pin. But it'll get the standard value that most of these upscale pins get, which is $12 to $15. So nothing crazy, but I really liked that pin, and I liked that movie. Value-wise, we have 54 on the low end and 65 on the high end. So not great. This is about a $45 box when all is said and done, shipping charges and all that shit. So I'm giving this one a 6.5 out of 10 because really not great on the value. A little bit more than you paid for, a tiny bit. The autograph was okay. I recognize the guy. Shirt's always shit. Stress ball, who gives a shit? Then the pin was great, so, you know, it was good. It's technically worth it, but not by much. So, 6.5, Zobie. Next, we got the Bambox. So, their new system. Let me talk about this real quick. Started in January, where they are limiting the number of boxes. They're not just going to have as many people as they want. They limit the number, which is good. That gives us more quality. That gives us more value. Also, the art prints. They said they're not going to have them signed and numbered anymore, which sounds bad, but they say they're going to focus on the quality of the print, which I'm all for. As you know in my last videos, I talk about their prints a lot and how they should just give it a rest, because it's basically fan art is what it was. It was signed and numbered, which is cool, but when it's from a random person, who cares why it's signed and who cares what number you got? And that's how it's been for the past couple of years. There's just no value or quality to it. So they said they're getting rid of the signatures and numbers for quality. So I'm all for that in that sense. Now, the problem with them limiting the boxes, which I didn't realize, is that they had to cancel all current subscriptions. I didn't think about that. For some reason, I thought I would just carry over, but they can't because how would they decide who stays and who goes? So I didn't realize I had to sign up. Got to it before they sold out because I really wanted something they had Spawn on there, and I was like, okay, need this box. So signed back up. Price is the same, but there's just a few changes there. So I just wanted to briefly talk about it in case anyone was confused what's going on with that company. And if you have any more specific questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. All right, now going on to what's in the box. Autograph, Jeremy London. And it's funny that we got this because little known about Jeremy London, he actually has a twin brother who's also an actor. Why do I know that? Because his twin brother's autograph came in the Bambox like 2 or 3 years ago, long time ago. And I thought it was him and got excited, realized it was a twin brother who I didn't know, and got disappointed. Now we got the twin. His twin brother was in Dazed and Confused, and Jeremy London was in Mallrats. Love that movie. Great one as well. So it's just kind of funny that now I have both twin brothers. Value on this is only going for about $20, which is not that surprising. Like I said with Zobie, autographs usually go with that $25, $30 range. but lesser known ones go for around 20. And Jeremy London, although I love Mallrats, I don't think a ton of people do. Kevin Smith's movies in general are kind of on the niche end of things, so not a lot of people have seen them, not a lot of people appreciate them, but I just happen to, so I like it. But if you didn't know or like that movie, you really wouldn't care because he didn't do anything super substantial after that. He's been acting this whole time. He's been acting for decades, but it's all been like really 2-bit parts after that, so where you wouldn't really recognize or know him. So that's why it's $20. Long-winded explanation. Then we got our print. Joey Lee Cabral. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Let's say that I am. So this is only going for about $12. So we got rid of the sign part. Oh, they still did a number. I thought they were getting rid of that, honestly. Still have a number. It's just not hand-signed anymore. So they got rid of that for quality. And you know, the picture is better. I like this picture. It's well done. But Joey Lee Cabral, I don't know anything about him, and I tried to find information on him, and there's really not much around there. So it seems like a small step up as far as artists, but a really small step to where it's someone it's not just fan art, it's someone that is an established artist, but just not anyone that's really recognizable. So it's a small step up. Is that worth losing the signature? I don't know. It's kind of a lateral move to me because the signatures are of no-name people. We lost the signature, but it's still of someone that's not really well known. But at least the picture's nice. At least it doesn't look fan-made. So I guess that's, again, a small step up. Value-wise, only about $12, but again, not selling for that. That's the prices they're listing for, but no one's buying it. And that's the same thing it was before. So that's why it feels like a lateral move, because it just seems like the exact same situation. They went from here and moved over here. Nobody wanted to pay $12 over here. Nobody wants to pay $12 over there. So what do you say about that? Seems the same. Then we got a pin. This was the Spawn item, which I was a little bummed about. I was hoping it'd be something better, but you know, whatever. Still Spawn. You hardly ever see him anywhere, and I love him. He's one of my favorite characters, but he doesn't show up in subscription boxes. That's not his place to be. And the pin has a different art style. I feel like that may have been due to some sort of licensing issue, maybe, because it's just a really weird art style. I love Spawn, and it's not that it looks bad. It's just a weird art choice is all. It's just very odd to me. So that's going for about $10 to $12. Again, pretty standard for pins that size. Then we got our prop replica. I'm glad they're bringing these back. They're not always great. They never were always great, but it was still better than some of the other things they had. So this is a necklace from The Last of Us. Have not watched it yet. I was waiting for all the episodes to become available. They recently have. Now I'm going to watch it, so no spoilers in the comments. I know, I heard it's great. I'm getting to it, don't worry. Necklace. That's only going for about $5 to $10. It's hard to say what the value is specifically from Bandbox because so many people have made this a very exact replica, identical to this. Different companies have, so that's why it's very cheap. So, value-wise, on the low end, $45. On the high end, $52. Really not great on the value. This is about a $45 box. So on the low end, you're just getting what you paid for. On the high end, getting a little bit more than you paid for, which is good. I mean, at least on the low end, at least you're getting what you paid for, but really not by much. I like the signature. I like the print, even though it's not very valuable. I like the pin. I like the necklace. All things I liked and enjoyed, so that factors into it. So that being said, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Not great value, but genuinely all enjoyable things that I thought had some decent effort into it. Not great, not fantastic, but that's kind of how Bandbox has always been. It's always usually been around that 6 out of 10 region. That's kind of what it is. So that kind of seems like Bandbox's theme now. It says big lofty things and then just kind of makes a lateral move. Or it makes big lofty goals and then cancels them immediately. So that's kind of what they've done in the past with new subscription box. They'll have them for a month and then cancel them. Or they'll make big changes and it's like the exact same thing. So, I mean, I'm not really complaining. I still like the box. So lateral move is fine, I guess. But it's, I don't know. It just seems like they really overhype stuff. And then it's just like, okay, it's the same. Okay, that works. So, Bandbox, 6 out of 10. Then we got Loot Crate. that showed up in this unmarked black box with a cut all the way through the box on the side that was taped up. How fucking sketch does this look? Looks like a fucking bomb in here. There's no markings of any kind. It's all beat to shit. Like, what the fuck is going on over at Loot Crate where they have to send me this piece of crap? And it's even taped really poorly. Like, what is happening? And there's a hole in the top. Fuck. I know it's not entirely their fault, or at least I hope it's not. Some of these things could have happened in shipping, but still. Why isn't your logo on there? Like, what are you doing? This is ridiculous. So, that's just kind of that little rant I had. Pretty much sums up the last year in Loot Crate. And I'll talk more about it in the separate video. This is February's box. March's box has not shown up. And they have been updating the site so you can tell which is which they haven't done the past year. So this is February. So let's talk about what's in here. First, ammo lunchbox from Alien. That's Wayland? Yeah, Alien. So, not a ton of value there. That goes for like 10 to 12 bucks. It's like really nothing close to that. A lot of people are asking a lot more, but no one's paying that. So I kind of looked up what other boxes were worth and other ones from this, like, and kind of factored all together, and I got 10 to 12 bucks. Really nothing special. Some socks, 7 to 10 bucks. These are Firefly socks. And then we got a shirt, an ET shirt. So, a theory I've had for a while now is that they've had shipping delays for some reason. They won't say why, but it took them 3 years to get stuff to us. So I have a feeling they had plans for this box, and it was supposed to be something that had a theme, and they just couldn't make it happen. For, again, we don't know why, whatever reason, shipping delay, couldn't get an item, whatever, doesn't matter. That they couldn't make it happen, so they just took random shit and put it in there just to get it out there so they don't get sued at this point. Like, they keep charging people money, and they up their price and not sent people stuff. Like, that's so fucked up. So I think to avoid a lawsuit, they just put shit in a box and gave it to us. And now I think this theory is confirmed by this. How do I know? Because I have this shirt. Where did I get it? From Loot Crate. When did I get it? Like 10 years ago. Like so long ago. I don't know exactly. Someone wants to take 1,000 hours and comb through my videos. You'll see this shirt somewhere at my old house. Years ago I got this. And I can't believe they still have this on their shelf, but they do. Which just proves my point. They're putting absolutely random shit that they've already had just to fulfill orders, which is not a good sign. That does not look good. And I would say they're about to go bankrupt if NECA didn't own them. So I just can't imagine this box staying around much longer because it is such shit quality. So that shirt will get the standard $12 to $15 value. But as far as the score, giving a 4 out of 10 because the quality of their shirts are ass. Not as bad as Zobie, but not much better. Considering they have their own clothing company, you'd think they'd be better at this stuff, but they're not. So, that brings our value on the low end, 29. On the high end, 37. This used to stick around because it was one of the cheapest boxes. Now it's a $35 box. $35. And they upped the charge while they weren't sending us anything. So, on the low end, you're getting less than you paid for. Less than you paid for. That used to happen at the beginning of my channel when these companies were starting out. They used to happen. That doesn't happen anymore. No one gets less than you pay for from these professional companies. Like, what is happening? What is going on at that company that you made us wait 3 years and then give us this piece of shit of old stuff that I already have? So, as far as a score on this, it gets a 2 out of 10. 2. That's all you get. And if you want to hear me get pissed to Loot Crate some more, watch the next video. Damn, Loot Crate. Step it up. Alright. Last box. We have Geek Fuel, but we have a few of these. We have 4 of them. And I was going to pick just the most recent one, but I want to talk about each one just a little bit. So that's why I said it's going to be a little bit sped up here. So let's get into it. This one, going all the way back to December. Yes, a long time ago. But I like this one because it was all a specific theme. This was Pee-wee themed. This is something that boxes should be doing always. All boxes have a theme, but it's so irrelevant these days. Like Loot Crate, a lot of times their box theme will be like, Rage. And it's like, oh, okay, so literally anything. Like, literally anything can be related to Rage in one way or another. So they have themes, but they're so redundant because it's just random shit anyway. What happened to the days where boxes had a theme, where it was one thing, and that's it. This is what they should have done. This is what they did right. Still not a big fan of reaction figures. Still not a big fan of Super 7 in general. That's what this box is full of. But I like that it was all a combining theme, so I appreciated that. Let's talk about values real quick. Figure, 20 bucks. Mini, 7 to 10. Card, I couldn't find anything. I was being generous, gave it a $2 to $3 value. Low end, 29. High end, 33. Gave it a 6 out of 10. Not much worth talking about. I just wanted to point out and appreciate that all these years later, someone could do a real theme. Like, why is no one else doing that? Like, some boxes kind of do. Culture Fly is pretty good, but they more have, like, subscription box themes versus specific box themes. So, I just really appreciated that they did a genuine theme and put things that are all actually alike versus connected through some random word. All right. Then we got next month's, which is January. So we got the Mondoid figures. The next 3 boxes are all upgraded boxes. They put a special little note in there that said this is upgraded. But this is not going to be something that continues because it's a special instances, but still this is how it should be. We got the Mondoid figure we were promised months ago. We got a comic, which who cares, and a journal. But value-wise on this, 35 on the low end, 43 on the high end. Still nothing amazing, but the things in here were better quality. This is how the box used to be. This is how the box should be. They say this is upgraded. This should be the standard. I really like it, and it would be an isolated incident, but we go to the next month, and they're using their boxes again. And this was February. And this had the same situation where it was not much stuff in there, but the value was really high. We got our Tiki mug and we got a pin. So this is what the box has basically been, with a reaction figure and a pin, which is just not quite enough, but at least they have a situation here where it's a big item and a pin. I still feel like they should have more items, but at least the items they have are high quality and high value. The mug is a $45 mug and the pin is $12 to $15. That brings our value to $57 and $60, that range, which is great. That's almost double the value. So I understand this is a lot of things they just have leftover stock of, but if they have it, why not give it to us? That's what pissed me off for a long time, that they would give us coupon codes for things we could buy on their site, and it's like, wait, why don't you put this in the fucking box? If you have it, give it to us. Why are you holding out and giving us coupons? This is how it should be done, Geek Fuel. Pay attention. Do this. Do this thing right here. Just do it again. And they did it again. One more time. Now we're all the way up to March. And again, same situation. So I really hope they just keep up with it. They keep putting in notes and saying, this is just this box. This is just this box. This special thing has been upgraded. But it seems like they're kind of creating a trend and pattern. And if they can keep up with it, this could be a great box. Same thing here. Mug and pin. They could still throw in one more item. They count their coupon code as an item. No. So they should just throw in one more thing, something small, I don't know. But then it would be a really great box. And I love this mug because it was Grimlock. I love Grimlock. I don't even care about Transformers, but I like Grimlock. He was badass. And then the pin, $15 pin from Mondo. So they have these companies that they're partnered with, like Mondo and Mondoids and the Geeky Tikis. They have really high quality stuff. They just weren't giving it to us for a while for some reason. Because, like I said, I think they were filing for bankruptcy. But again, this is what they should do. Value on this one was $60 to $75, and I gave it an 8 out of 10. This is what it should be. So, progressively better, and I hope it's not an isolated incident. I know I was talking real fast. Hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, but I kind of wanted to brush through 4 months at a time from Geek Fuel. And it seems like they're gaining traction again. It seems like they're getting the picture. It seems like they're putting more value into it. And I hope they do, because this was genuinely the best box. This was the best one for a while. They were on top. They did amazing boxes and just slowly over the years just kind of dive bombed. And now it finally seems like they're on the up and up again, but it may be false hope. It may just be these 3 boxes. It may just, again, go away. I hope not. I hope they do put more of this stuff in there. It's really cool to get stuff that's worth like $50. You really don't get things that are that high valued in other boxes anymore. So really nice thing to see. So that was all the boxes. I tried to cut down on time. Didn't really work. Took a pretty long time anyway. And Wolf is still asleep. Hasn't woken up. Oh, puppy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh. He's like, I hate you, Dad. I'm trying to sleep. So, like I said before, the next video will be the loot crates. Catching up with loot crate. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 of them. And we're going to talk about that company and talk things to come. Other than that, thank you for watching and supporting. I'm sorry it took so long. Like I said, I had good intentions. I was just waiting for that January box. It just took so long. I didn't know. It's not my fault. So hopefully I can keep up and do more videos. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Any questions, comments, concerns in the comments. We'll talk about it there. Thank you all for watching and supporting. Love you all. Peace.